Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or hi hello if you are new here. Thank you for joining me for today's video, which I am so excited about. Also a little bit nervous to be kind of sharing my house with everybody, but I think mostly I'm very excited. So if you'd like to see a full house tour, then please just keep on watching. So before I get into the house tour, I wanted to give you a little bit of background with our house and the renovations, and a little bit of kind of like history about the house first, so that you can kind of get an idea of the age of it and what we're doing and what our dream is with the house. Of course, if you just want to skip ahead now to having a look around the rooms and stuff, then go ahead and do that. But if you'd like to listen, then I will give you a little bit more information on the house. So we bought the house coming up for 4 years ago. When we bought the house, it had been on the market for 2 years. I hadn't seen it. We'd looked at so many houses and I hadn't actually seen it on any listings anywhere. And then we were kind of just giving up, and we just thought we're just going to wait. We're not going to view any more houses because nothing was kind of suiting us. And I just thought I'll have one more look. And then this house popped up on there, which I thought, I have never seen this house on here before, and it said it had been on for 2 years. Anyway, I called them up and they said that they'd just been sort of taking it off and putting it back on, trying to like get more interest in it by making it like a new property again. So I suppose a bit of a sneaky kind of tactic to advertise it, which worked for me because I hadn't seen it. It sprung on there and I thought, wow, I haven't seen this house before, and I got very excited over it. So I showed Ollie and he was like, okay, let's go and have a look. The house was actually at the very top of our budget, in the way that it meant the house had to be all done and just ready to move in, no work. So yeah, we were pushing limits. We could afford it, but we just couldn't afford to do anything to it. So we just hoped, oh, maybe it'll be okay, it's not that bad. We'll go and have a look, and we can also obviously put offers in and things. So we went along and had a look at the house, and it was, as soon as I walked in the front door, I just had that feeling. You know when people say you get a feeling? I had that feeling, and I thought, oh my god, I've never felt this when I walk in a house. And even though the house was on the market for 2 years, so it'd been empty for 2 years, so there was no one living there, there was no personal things around, but it just felt like it needed someone. It felt like it needed people to move in and just love it again. And previous to it being on the market for 2 years, it was actually used as a holiday let. So of course, again, it hasn't really had a family in it loving it for quite some time. So anyway, we walked in the front door and it was just, I loved it. Even though it was completely old-fashioned, it was a really bad layout. What I'll try and do is pop as many pictures as I can find on the screen while I'm chatting. It actually was, because it was a holiday let, there is actually like listings of it when it was advertised as a holiday let. So that was when we originally saw it. So what I'll do is I'll pop all them on the screen as I talk about it now. So yeah, it was very old, but the rooms were lovely. They were big, and the ceilings were high, and it just had a really nice feel to it, and it really had a feel like it wants someone to love it, which is what kind of like drew me in so much. Ollie, on the other hand, was walking around this house looking at it thinking, oh my god, what are we getting ourselves into? And I'm walking around going, oh my god, this is so exciting, I can do this and I can do that. But I am definitely more of like the vision, if you know what I mean. So I look through everything, but Ollie definitely looks at things practically, and obviously him being a bit more hands-on than me knew that it would be him that would be taking on a lot of the work. So anyway, as we walked around, we knew that this house needed a complete renovation, not just cosmetic, not a new kitchen, new bathroom, not that, like a whole structural renovation, which meant knocking down pretty much every wall, putting RSJ beams in, which are like big steel beams that basically hold the structure of the house together. And we actually, at the end of our build, we would have put in 12 new of these beams. So that is a huge project. So as we're walking around, I'm going, it can be like this, and it could be like that. And Ollie's there like, oh my god. And the lady showing us is like, oh, yes, it is a lot of work, but you know, it can be done. So we looked around and came away, and I said to Ollie, I love it. Like, it's just absolutely perfect. It also had a garage and it had a chalet in the garden. Now, I am a self-employed beauty therapist, so I wanted my salon to be at home. So when I saw the chalet in the garden, I was like, wow, I can actually have my salon at home and we can run it all from here and it will just be perfect. So that was another big reason for us to buy the house. So we go home. We were in a rented accommodation because we'd sold our previous house. We had actually bought and renovated a house before this one, which we sold and did really well on, so that enabled us to be able to buy this one. But we moved into rented just to make things a little bit easier for us to move. So yeah, we went home and I was saying, Ollie, yes, it'll be, and he's there going, oh, I don't know if we can do this. It's quite a big job. And, you know, anyway, I persuaded him. And we decided that we would put an offer in. Now, the estate agent had told us that people had put offers in many times over the last couple of years and the owners had rejected the offers time and time again. I think it was a sad situation. So it was the two daughters that were selling it, and their dad had unfortunately died. And I think it was his love to, you know, rent this house out. And I think it was a very loved house. You can feel it's a very loved house. So I can understand they wanted to get as much money for it as they could. But at the point we viewed it, it's been empty for 2 years. The issues that were already with it were just becoming worse because 2 years of just something being left unkept is really damaging to a property. So we did go in quite low with our offer, and the estate agent said, look, they've rejected offers higher than this, so I really don't think that you're gonna get this, but by all means go ahead and put your offer in. We were like, well, that's all we can afford, so we just have to put that offer in and hope for the best. Anyway, we put our offer in, which was quite significantly lower than the asking price, and the asking price had already been reduced within the 2 years it had been on the market. So anyway, we put our offer in. Turns out that the two daughters were visiting each other and they were both together. I think one of them was a bit more keen to sell than the other one, maybe. Obviously, I don't know the full details in that, but that's kind of what the estate agent said. And I think they were both together, and when our offer went in, they must have been just chatting, and then the estate agent phoned and said, we've got an offer, and I think one daughter persuaded the other daughter, we need to just sell this house. So we got a phone call back and this agent was like, they've accepted your offer. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It's like, it felt like it was all meant to be. And I was there like celebrating. Ollie's there like, Jesus, what have we got ourselves into? Anyway, we're both very happy, of course. Obviously, I don't want to go on too much because I know a lot of people just come on here to watch a house tour and I'm there like telling you the whole story. But, you know, it is important that you kind of know a little bit about it before we show it. So yeah, anyway, moving forward, we then, you know, moved in and got all our stuff here and did all the legal stuff, you know, all of that boring stuff. And we then had an architect come in and design a whole plan on the house. So the plans were just basically changing the whole house because this house had been altered in quite a few ways that didn't complement it. I think where it had been used as a B&B, there was lots of rooms. So they'd kind of put stud walls up and made lots of rooms, like bedrooms and bathrooms, to kind of make it a bit like a holiday let type thing. So we wanted to kind of make it to feel like a family home. So that's what we said to our architect, and he did all these plans. We had another floor put on the house, and it was just huge plans. And we gave ourselves 2 years to do it. We thought, you know, we'd saved up some money to do some work, and then the plan was after a year or so, we'd be able to release some money because we would have increased the equity in the house, and then finish it off. We're now 4 years down the line and we are only halfway through this renovation project. So I don't know how many more years we're going to be doing this, but I'm really excited to vlog the whole journey from now on. I really wish I'd started from the beginning vlogging, but I don't know, I think my channel, I was only just starting it up, we moved in, and I've just always been really embarrassed of the house, like, because even though I love it so much, because it's not finished, and when you watch all these house renovation and house tours on YouTube. People, their houses are just pristine, aren't they? They're just perfect, you know, they're clean. A lot of them are new builds, and of course a new build is so easy to film, you know, everything is just even and square and clean walls, and you know, so I always was comparing. So I've learnt now there's absolutely no way I can compare this house to anything. This house was built in 1860, so it is Victorian. It is part of Queen Victoria's estate. So she has an estate on the Isle of Wight. Obviously she's dead now. But yeah, so she owned quite a lot of the area, and originally this house, it is connected to another house, and so it's semi-detached. So the whole house was actually a stable block underneath for the horses, and then on the top floor it was where staff lived who used to work in the house, and also all the different houses within the land. So really, really exciting historical building, and I love that. Like, I just love the fact that a house has history. So I feel like a new build, it can't compete with that. So although a new build, when you're filming it, looks beautiful and, you know, everything's all clean, I have to remember that our house has something different. It has history, the walls are bowing, you know, everything's breaks. It's a lot of work, and it looks old, and it's never going to be perfect, but it is perfect in my eyes. So with all that being said, there's loads and loads more information that I could easily share with you about the house. If you do want a whole video of me just chatting about the house, then let me know. I don't know if that would be interesting. I've pretty much just done that now anyway. But of course, let's just get into the video. Let me warn you now that the downstairs of the house is completely untouched. We have done nothing apart from some stairs. We've put some new stairs in. So when we first go through the front door, it is not going to be aesthetic. It's not going to be everything's in its place. It's not clean. It's not tidy. So don't click off the video, because it gets better as it goes on, I promise you. The house definitely does look better as we go upstairs, and it's a lot more finished there. But still, I'm going to show you downstairs because it's very exciting. So I really, really hope that you enjoy coming along with me and showing you around my home. Okay, let's get started. So this is the front door, which needs replacing. It is broken, so we have to give it a nice boot to get in. Like that. And then come on in. So as you walk in, this is the entrance hall, and as we can see, if we have a little look around, it is not finished. We have wires hanging out the ceiling, we have wallpaper which ranges back to the 1800s through to the 1900s, the 60s, the 70s. We've peeled so many layers of wallpaper off here, like we just go through the ages. So like I said earlier, I will pop pictures on the screen of like what it was like before, just so you can see a little bit of kind of what's changed. But basically in here, this was just a entrance hall. There was no stairs here. We've actually added these stairs. So this area actually looks worse than what it looked like before we moved in. But we are, you know, obviously it's a process. So we'll move through here. We like to just cover things in blankets because there's just tools and stuff everywhere all the time and mess, so I tend to just throw stuff over it to hide it. So in here, if you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that I am completely kind of vlogging this whole transformation of this one room here, because this is going to be a downstairs bathroom. So I'll just give you a quick pan of the room. So this room is basically just stud walling at the minute and needs like plastering, and obviously we can see we are going to be putting a new floor down there. So yeah, this room will be kind of slowly coming along. I will leave all of the videos that kind of go along with the house linked down below, because I'm doing like a bathroom transformation. I've already done a whole bedroom transformation video, so I'll just link all of those in the description if you want to see specific rooms that we've done. So moving on through here, this takes us into the kitchen, which is beautiful. So this is our kitchen, and whilst it's not obviously the most beautiful kitchen. It's quite dark, the decor is not how I want it. It is a fully functioning kitchen, so I am just very happy that I have that. We obviously are going to be renovating the whole of the downstairs, like I did say earlier on in the video. So this will actually be completely knocked through. This whole wall will be gone. And then this wall here, this will all be gone. So it will just be one big open plan room leading on into another room in there, which I'll show you in a minute. At the moment through here is just like a little area, like a utility area. It's really handy, like we just keep the dog stuff in here. We've got the washer and the dryer, so we won't show too much in here, but you know, it's a usable space, so I'm not complaining. I'm going to try not to complain too much in this video. So we will now move on into this room here, which is the room that we currently use as the lounge. We have kind of changed rooms quite a lot, like where we have the lounge, just depending on the time of year, because it does get a little bit cold. So let's go in here. This is where the doggies are. We'll say hello to them first. So we have Belle here. This is Belle, the Border Collie. And then Dylan, come here and say hello. And this is Dylan, our little rescue dog. He's actually called a Coconi. So they spend most of their time in here. They do kind of roam around the house, but we try and keep them, you know, down here. So then let's talk about the lounge. This is what we use as the lounge or the living room, whatever you like to call it. This room is extremely dark. As you can see, we have actually no windows in this room. The previous owners have put in like these glass doors here and then this random glass door in the middle of the room here to try and like create a little bit of light. But when we have finished with this room, it will be completely open, there'll be doors onto the garden, and it will not be a dark room because we don't want any dark rooms in the house. So yeah, we spend most of our time in the evenings in here. We just have the sofa, the coffee table, and then we just have our TV here. And then we do have a log burner, which is just so nice in the winter. It keeps it really nice and cozy down here, so that's lovely. That is actually one of the things that we did put in ourselves, so that wasn't actually with the house. So just kind of like an open fire here. So we popped a log burner in just to kind of save on the heating bills. Because the house is a renovation project, there's just like no insulation, so it was just freezing, so that's really helped. So we will move on into this room. This is the room that gives me the most anxiety. So we'll just do a quick look in here and then we'll come out. But anyway, basically this room is what we originally did use for the lounge, because when all of the upstairs was being done, we actually slept in this room we're in now. So this was our bedroom. We've moved so many different rooms in the house, obviously, as the work's been going. So basically this room, it is a lovely room. It's a really nice big room. We're actually going to move this wall here and make this room a lot smaller to create like a little cozy lounge in here. And then again, this whole area here will be a nice big open plan dining, living, kitchen area. So we'll just have a quick look in here. There's not much to see. We basically use it as a lot of storage. In here, we basically just put a dining table and we sometimes eat in here, and we just use it for a lot of storage. We've got all the old furniture that was left in the house kept in here. So this room really is not used for much at all. Well, trying to film a video in here. So it has some lovely doors out onto like the driveway there, which go out onto the driveway. So once we've actually done all the house, we will focus on the driveway and do a lot of stuff out there as well. So it might be quite nice to one day have these doors opening up onto a little seating area out there or something, because we get a lot of sun at the front of the house. Anyway, let's move on. So we'll just move on through the lounge and into this area here, which is another room we don't really use. It's kind of just the way to like get out into the garden for like letting the dogs out for wee and stuff. So there's not much to talk about in here. So in here, it's basically just like a really old, strangely built conservatory that was like put on the side of the house. It's all like made out of plastic. This will be completely knocked down and rebuilt, and it will just work out as part of the whole of the downstairs open plan living that we have for the house. So basically these doors just go on into our garden here. It's very, very windy outside, so we won't do like a garden tour or anything like that. If you do want to see a garden tour, if you want to see my beauty salon, then definitely leave me a comment down below, because I can always do an outside tour and then show you in the salon and stuff like that if you do want to see it. Anyway, so we will move on through the house, and I promise you it is going to get better. So we are now back at the entrance of the house and we're going to head up these stairs. So we did add in these stairs because originally, actually, in that room there where is going to be the bathroom, there was an actual spiral staircase. It was like a really weird, like tiny spiral staircase going upstairs into one of the rooms upstairs. So we basically wanted to create a central staircase, so that is why we had this one put in. So let's head up it now. So this is the landing. I really like this space. It's so nice to come up the stairs and just have like a little bit of space here, and we only recently had this carpet done. We were kind of waiting for the carpet to be done for like probably 2 years, I don't know, a long time, because we're doing all the work up here. So it's been really nice. Unfortunately, this door here is not attached. It was attached, but then the carpet went and it didn't fit anymore. So that has got to be done. The whole house has been like that, like little things happen and go wrong, but that is just what happens when you're renovating a house. So I absolutely love these windows because I just thought they were so pretty and they're just like nice and original and just go with the house. So this was originally the landing which ran all the way down here. All of these walls we've put in to make new bedrooms, and obviously because there was no stairs here, this was actually a bedroom, but obviously now it's a staircase. So the windows ran all the way along here. So I'll take you into this room first. This is the room that you will be most familiar with if you do watch my channel, because this is where I do film most of my videos. You can see like my backdrop here. I just have this IKEA wardrobe in here, which I absolutely love. I do have a full tour of this room by itself, talking about everything that's in here and building it and everything like that. So again, I'll leave that video link down below to give you a little bit more detail. But basically in here, this is like my little sanctuary. I've got like all my makeup. It's easy for me to film in here. Everything's set up and ready. I've got the mirror. And then like the wardrobe over here, and it's just a really nice cozy room where I feel like I can put everything that I love in here, and like it's individual to me. I've just got some prints that I've put up on the wall, so yeah, it's just lovely to have a room for myself. So let's move on. Okay, so we'll now leave this room and we'll head out into the next bedroom and the bathroom. So we come back through the landing here, which takes us to this kind of little area here, which I was talking about earlier with the door. Like this door will actually obviously be attached eventually. So then we come into this area here, and this is the bathroom. So this is one of my favourite rooms in the house because I just find it so relaxing. I was kind of given free rein on this bathroom to design it how I wanted to, and Ollie's doing the one downstairs that we were talking about earlier. So I have made this one quite girly. I really wanted a freestanding bath, but the bathroom is not like the biggest bathroom, so we actually just have like a mini freestanding bath here, which is really nice because when you're in it, you're kind of like sat upright and it's so comfortable. I have a bath every night and I love it. I've got my little bath tray here with all my favourite bits on there, and then we went for rose gold tap, so we have a rose gold bath tap, and then we also have the rose gold sink tap here. So this is like our sort of vanity unit thing, which I just think is really nice. It looks really old fashioned and it's kind of like in keeping with the area, and it's just nice and chunky, and I really love this piece. We just have this kind of like inbuilt shelf here, which is so handy for when you're in the bath. And it also has lights on it. Ollie will turn them on now. Magic. Oh, you haven't left them on. So yeah, it looks really pretty in there in the evenings. It's so nice because you can just have these little lights on, and it's just over the bath, and it's just so relaxing. And it just, any type of stress, anything, it just gets rid of it in here. I love this room so much. Like sometimes even when I'm just going to the loo, I'll sit in here for a little bit longer just because I want to relax. So the windows in here are absolutely beautiful. They are massive. And we have gone for just plain glass. We've not put any frosting on it, even though I know it is a bathroom. Because the back of our house backs on to the estate, like I was telling you earlier, it means that we're completely not overlooked. So nobody can actually see in. I mean, occasionally the gardener who works on the gardens at the back of our garden, you know, he might be there mowing the lawns and stuff, but you know what? Usually you can tell if he's out there, so you probably wouldn't have like a bath while he's there. So I'm so happy that we didn't put frosted glass in, because I do think that that has made a huge difference to this bathroom. When you come in here, it just gives you a feeling of space and like nature, and we can see the squirrels outside and the birds, and I just love all of that. We have these tiles, which are kind of like Victorian, excuse my slippers, they're kind of Victorian inspired tiles. And so we got them on the floor there, and then we also just put them on the shelf there to kind of like blend the whole bathroom together. If I had my time again to do this bathroom, I would have gone for lighter tiles at the back, because they are quite dark. I feel like maybe more of a nude marble colour would have actually worked better, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. We also use the tiles on the windowsills here so that everything kind of blends in together and matches really nicely. So that's enough of the bathroom. I've probably spent most of the time in here because it is probably my favourite room. Let's move on. So next to the bathroom we have another bedroom. This is the bedroom that's most recently been done, and it is a lovely room. I do also have a full video on the renovations of this room from start to finish, so if you do want to see that, I will link it down below. This is my brother's room. My brother is living with us at the moment, so this is his room, so let's go and have a look. It's not quite as tidy as I would keep it, but you know, I can't keep nagging too much. But I absolutely love this room, mainly because we have the high ceilings in this room. So we have the original high ceilings, and it just creates such a beautiful space to have the ceilings that high. We just have this white bed here. We've kind of gone for like neutral sort of decor in here. A little bit of pink because, you know, it needed to match the bathroom a little bit. And then he has his whole computer area here, and then there's an area there for all his clothing and bits and bobs. But it is a beautiful big room in here, and I really, really love this room. I mean, I love the bathroom because like I spend so much time in there, but this is again one of like my favourite rooms in the house. Mainly because of the high ceilings. I just love the feeling that that gives the room. So, shall we move on? Okay, so we've left the bedroom, which was just there, and we will now head to the smallest bedroom, or office, we have turned this one into. So if you watched was it my last video? I think it was my last video, wasn't it? If you watched my last video, I did an office transformation video. So I'll link that down below. There's a lot of videos I'm going to be linking down below. But yeah, that's this room here. So you have seen that already if you watched that video. But this is just the smallest bedroom, and we've turned it into an office. Really, really happy to have an office space. Like, Ollie spends most of his time in here because he works a lot from home. So yeah, this is mainly like his room, but I do sort of like to come in here and edit videos, stuff like that. But it's just a lovely space. We do have some blinds coming, so that will all be kind of looking a bit better soon. Everything is kind of a work in progress. Like, definitely all the decor and furnishings are not what I'm going to be having in the end. Like, when the whole house is done, we'll furnish everything exactly how we like it. But for now, everything is lovely and usable, so really, really happy with this space here. So we'll now continue down the landing, and then we'll go up the final flight of stairs to the final room. If you are still watching this video now, thank you so much, because I know this is going to be a long video, especially with the intro that I did. Hopefully I've given enough information on it all. So we come around here and we have another nice little bit of landing here, which is just really nice. Again, it gives a feeling of space, and that is what we really wanted to create when we were doing all of the reconfiguring of the house. Again, this is all new. When we bought the house, this was not here. We did not have another floor, so a lot of work's gone into it. So originally this window had like partitioning down it, but we put a new window in, like a big open one with nothing blocking any light, kind of like what we had in the bathroom, which I really love because again it just creates so much light. Originally I wanted the windows to have like the partitionings on them because I thought it was more in keeping with the house. But actually, with it being a dark house, we do really need to bring as much light in as possible. So when we first moved in, all of the windows had like plastic, so they were all square. And we just knew that behind that plastic was the original walls, and it would look so much better without all the plastic around it. So we ripped all of that off, and then we had the original walls revealed, which created this lovely sloping window frame, same as in the bathroom as well. and then it was just plastered and painted, and it looks so much nicer than plastic. So yeah, that has created a lot more light as well. It spreads the light so much better like that. Anyway, let's head upstairs. So with the kind of like designs of the house, we wanted it to be a bit kind of like warm and cozy, not too modern and clinical. So we did go for like oak on the handrails and the skirting boards, because we felt like that would give it a bit more of a warm kind of Victorian sort of feel, you know, keeping it within keeping. And then we just went for these grey carpets all the way through. So yeah, we added this whole floor on, which is so exciting. We didn't plan to do this, but some of the... Oh, Ollie fell downstairs. You alright? We'll do that again. So we added this whole floor, which we didn't actually plan to do. So originally we planned for a much smaller loft conversion, but actually when the builders got up here, they were like, you've got no head height, so you're gonna have to have a dormer put on. So we then had to build a whole dormer onto the back of our house to be able to fit this room in. And I was a bit like, oh, I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to change what the house looked like on the outside, but this room it's created is just lovely. So this is our bedroom. So welcome to our bedroom. This is, again, I keep saying rooms are like my favourite, but you know, I just really do love and appreciate the house so much. So you can see here, this piece of wall here which goes in, this is where the original wall was. Yeah, so this would have been the pitched roof here. So we're actually like stood in the roof now. So as you can see, the head height, if we'd gone for just this size, would have just been hardly anything. You would have just had a little slither where you could fit. So obviously it wasn't going to work as a bedroom. So this whole section, all the way along here, all the windows, all the way down to here, is all built onto the house so that this room was much bigger. And I'm really, really happy with how it's come out. Again, we've gone for the same windows, really big, like nothing blocking the windows. And it just looks right out into the garden. You can see a bit of our garden there. The garden goes back to that big tree at the back. And then you can also see all the land at the back of the house, which belongs to the estate that I was talking about earlier. So we are so lucky to be backing on to that land. Because we back onto that land, it means that no one can ever build on there because it is English heritage land. So we also have another window here. This was the only original window in this room, so those windows obviously weren't there. This was the only one that the room had, but it's been replaced, and it just looks out onto like neighbours' houses and stuff like that. So we tend to keep this blind down really because you can see the neighbours over here. And then our bed. This is just like the best bed in the world in my opinion. When I was creating this bedroom, I wanted it to feel like every night that I was going to bed, I was in a hotel. So we did go for a Super King bed, which probably one of our best purchases. So it's lovely to have a Super King bed because it just gives you so much space, and it definitely feels like when you go to a hotel, you know, when the bed's like so big and comfy, it's just like that. So I really love just laying up here. Sometimes when I just want to chill, I do just come and lay up here. Because it's facing away from the road and there's no windows that face out onto the front of the house, you almost feel like you're having a little bit of an escape when you come to this room, because everything just faces out the back of the house where like all the nature is, and you just can see trees out the window, and it's just a really nice feel to it. In this room I started off doing like a mustard, grey and navy theme, which we still do have because like you saw earlier the wall is navy, but I kind of like did that theme and like sort of gone off it a little bit. So I have added a little bit of pink in here, much to Ollie's disgust. I didn't mean to add pink, but basically I wanted this bedding, which is like that real fluffy like blanket bedding for the winter. I really love it. It's from Home Bargains and I wanted it, but they only had it left in pink, so I just bought it in pink and put it on the bed and didn't tell him, and then he came to bed and was like, what the hell is that on the bed? So yeah, it's a bit more pink and blue in here now, but I still really like the feel of it. It's a really nice cozy room. It's kind of autumnal, this room. Autumn is my favourite season, so this room is very autumnal. And we have this beautiful original beam going across here, which we did refurbish, is that the right word? So we just sanded it down. I actually did that myself. So I did. Ollie's shaking his head. I did that. I sanded it down, don't you remember? Yes, you do. I sanded this beam down and I oiled it and brought it back to life, so I'm very, very proud of that beam. So that is going to go ahead and conclude the house tour. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe down below for more videos like this. I will be regularly uploading videos every week with the progress of each room that we do or things that we get for the house. It's really fun to kind of like share the journey of the house, and I really feel like when we look back over these videos in years to come, it will be so nice to see like how far we came with this house. So yeah, so I really, really hope that you're having a lovely day whatever you're up to. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.